São Paulo city, which is, you know, the biggest financial and economical center of Brazil. A third of the PIB PIB is the GDP belongs to São Paulo state. So we are very, very close, actually 20 miles from this big, huge urban center. And what happens, if you look at the map, you can, we can show to you the challenges we face there. Because, as Isa says, we are far enough to have a better quality of life, because we're very close to the green belt of São Paulo area. And on the other hand, we are close enough to commute whenever we need, to consume products, services, cultural life, good doctors, you know. But this is a very, very particular point, because we don't have good public transportation in Brazil. And in São Paulo we face this. So what happens? People commute with their cars. So it's very common to see just one person driving his car or her car, going on and coming back, you know. And this is something very, very serious we face there. The other thing we live there is this, as we told you, this contrast. Thaisa said about Rio, Vila Brasilândia, the contrast between the poor and the rich people, because there are this very, very fancy neighborhood, big houses, and but we are not a city. We are a mixture of 7 municipalities, and many people use Granja Viana just as a dormitory city. And then they commute to study, they commute to work, and we have, these municipalities are very, very poor. So we have still this contrast. The poor municipalities and the big condominiums, the big houses, and people, because, and then while May was talking, I was just making an association. People feel double rich, because first they are rich because of the country is rich in resources, and they are rich themselves, so they don't have to worry about anything, you know. They think everything is forever, endless. This spirit of endless, and you know, this kind of a being selfish, because I don't need anybody, I don't need anything. I go with my car, I park there, I come back, I don't have to care about the fuel. It's very, very serious. So the question is how to catch people that are double rich in different senses. They feel, right? How? And then I think because this kind of energy is brought, an energy of enthusiasm, an energy of doing things in a very light way, with lots of love, funny actions, creative actions. So we are catching people there through this way, let's say with lots of sense of humor. And then we have been doing many, many things there. I mean, in just 1 year, we have some things to tell you, and many, many other projects being gestated, being developed. Okay, so we have this Solidarity Exchange Fair, Auscambau. Escambo is exchange. It's a very old word for when you exchange things. The name is already a kind of a joke. And there we do this fair every last Sunday of the month. And although for you from Europe, this is a very, very common thing, you know, to exchange things, to buy used things, but this is not common in Brazil. We have this kind of consumist mentality, American values. Oh, I have to buy new things, to exchange. What do you mean by, to buy something used? It's really because of the spirit. We are a new country. I mean, this culture is pretty new. And all this American influence about Nike, things like that. And then, again, because we are planting this, we are, cultivating people, making lots of ways to invite people to go, and we are feeling how it is growing. Every last Sunday, more people go. So people go there just to look. It's very funny. They don't take anything to change. They go there. I came to see. I came to see. Oh, you changed. Oh, you accept. Oh, I will bring my blah 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 next Sunday. It's very, very funny. So that's why we said we are trying to change the consuming habits, and this is why it's been very, very, very nice.
I like that Paris bonnet there. Paris bonnet. It's gone. It's gone.
Oh, that's my blouse from the fair change.
I brought mine too. Yeah. I exchanged it with my friend. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So another thing we did, which we are very proud of it, the Earth Hour. I think everybody knows this famous Earth Hour. WWF created it. But in Granja, we have a particular way to celebrate the Earth Hour. I think it was very creative, very friendly. We talked to 27, most of the restaurants of the area, of the region, and they joined, and they offered candlelit dinners not during the hour, but during the whole night. And then they contributed with a symbolic amount of each person that came to have the dinners, and then they gathered all these resources and gave to us from Transition, because we are supporting now a square that was abandoned, that was with lots of problems, Santa Adélia Square, which is in the heart of Granja Viana, and they gave, these contributions to do the revitalization of our square. So this was a very, very creative action that we're very, very proud about. And I talked to a person from WWF, and he was really amazed. Oh, you did this with our event? Oh, that's very nice. And he was very, very impressed.
So this was 27 restaurants, all being lit with candles at night. So it was like
400 people
400 people
went to the restaurant to have a dinner in that day, in that hour.
And then they would ask why this is candlelit. And then,
Yeah.
then there was an explanation why this was candlelit.